Hi, I'm Dory, and today I am doing a charcoal drawing of my favorite band in the world, the Beatles. Let me first address the haters. People love to say that the Beatles are overrated. No, they are not. The impact that they had on the music industry, the way that records are made, the way that songs are written and recorded, the way that music is received by the general public, to underestimate the impact that they had on all of these things is just folly. They were the first musicians to print the lyrics of their music on the album's cover. They were the first artists to own a record label and to scout out new groups. They were the first band to experiment openly with sound by playing music and vocals backwards and by incorporating lesser-known instruments into their music like sitars and trumpets. They were the first group to attempt to make music videos. I mean, without the Beatles, we might not have MTV. An entire industry would not exist. I mean, think of how many music videos you have loved over the years. They made experimental films. They made art. They wrote books. They were the first pop group to ever use their influence to make political change. Their anti-war message of love and peace was the world's first international television broadcast. They changed the way people listen to music. They changed the way that we see musicians, and they changed the way we look at the world. Every member of the group plays multiple instruments. They sang, they wrote music, and they all cared deeply about their message. The Beatles are not overrated. They were incredible. They were passionate. And even if you hate every single one of their songs, you would be ignorant not to admit the effect that they had on the world and that they matter. They started off as a cover band in dive bars. They faced incredible scandal and controversy. They learned and experimented and grew and never stopped trying to improve themselves. Their stories are inspirational and sad and incredible. There are no words for the impact that this band has had on my life. They have a song to fit almost every mood, every moment of my existence. Their music is the soundtrack of my childhood. My parents love the Beatles, and they practically raised me on them. I've seen every documentary to ever come on TV. I watched their movies countless times. Their film, Hard Day's Night, is studied by film students today as an example of excellence in filmmaking. But my favorite movie will always be Help. I mean, that movie's just weird and twisted and a perfect summary of 1960s mentality. I have countless memories of listening to their records playing while my dad explained the album cover art to me. He would teach me about the songs and what they meant and why they were written. As a child, I was enchanted by their wit and their cheerful songs like Octopus's Garden and Yellow Submarine. As a teenager, I became obsessed with the darker details of the Beatles' legacy. The Paul is Dead conspiracy theory and rumors of subliminal messages in their music fascinated me. Songs like A Day in the Life and Number 9 Dream dominated my personal playlist. I began reading books about Charles Manson and the Manson family, and songs like Happiness is a Warm Gun and Piggies gained a sense of infamy and horror in my mind. As I grew, and as the world of music changed around me, I began to notice the obvious ways that the Beatles were influencing modern musicians that I enjoyed. The music of the 1990s was built on the Beatles' canon of work. Their music truly is art because its meaning is subjective. I can listen to them when I'm sad or in love or joyful or angry. I can listen to the lyrics and apply them to a dozen different scenarios from my life, and though the lyrics fit each memory, the meaning is different for each one. With this in mind, it can be argued that the Beatles truly wrote music for everybody. Every album has a different life and a unique sound, and if you don't like one, you may love the next. Too many modern artists sound the same in every song. Listening to the Beatles albums in order is like watching them evolve. I love the Beatles, and I am proud to love them. Are you a Beatles fan? If you are, what's your favorite song? Tell me in the comments down below. I drew them here when they were still very young. I wish I'd been alive then. I wish I could have heard them play. I remember when I was 7 years old, I begged my father to take me to see them in concert, and my father explained to me that I could never see them live because John Lennon was dead. He had been murdered the year after I was born, and learning about this broke my heart. I cried for days and listened obsessively to Imagine and Beautiful Boy. When John's son Julian released an album and people realized he sounded just like his dad, rumors circulated that he might take his place in a Beatles reunion, and my heart soared with hope. But it never happened. And then George died. Cancer was his killer, and again my heart ached. It was such a devastating loss to the entire world. His brilliant lyrics and unusual melodies were gone forever. Albums like Dark Horse and Brainwashed played on repeat in my CD player. It wasn't until I turned 30 that I finally got a chance to see the two remaining Beatles live in concert. I saw Ringo play one week, and then I saw Paul. They were both amazing shows. There were lasers and cannons and fire, but most of all, there were the Beatles. Ringo played A Little Help from My Friends. Paul played Blackbird and Yesterday, and my soul felt full. My parents were with me, and my brothers were there too, and as I watched my heroes sing, I was a little girl again. I was that sweet, innocent girl looking at album covers, blissfully ignorant of John Lennon's death. And it was magic. Music is like that. Heroes are like that. My humble drawing could never truly capture the magic of the Beatles, but I did my best. I hope you like this. Thank you so much for watching me draw today. If you had fun, please be sure to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. You're the best. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.